morning. Selamat pagi. Buongiorno. Bonjour. Wiedersehen? I don't know. Hello. How about g'day? I'm Dora. And wow, Sunday morning here. What a night. So, my live this morning is about why I've been doing so many lives, or why I do lives. Actually, no, why I'm doing so many lives right now. Not why I do lives. I like doing lives. I love lives. If you haven't realised that. Love lives. Like love life. Love life. Do a live. That doesn't even make any sense. But anyway, come with a walk. We are on holidays. We are down at Breakfast Point at the moment. And we just spotted a swing. We can't help ourselves. Let's make sure it's stable. Put our tripod down, which is our bottle of water. Why do kids have all the fun, right? It's not a bad little park. So, why do I do so many lives? Like last night, if you've hit notifications for me, you probably unclicked notifications right now, because I don't know how many lives we did last night. We did a lot. Why though, Dora? Why? Why did you do so many lives last night? Because, whoops, let me straighten up. Because my iPhone, has 360 gig. And maybe it's my apps, but I seem to only have about 50 gig to put photos on. Now, you guys know that I like to take a video or two, or three, and then never ever edit them again. But that's a joke, because Dora's trying to we're trying to change that. But that means that when I went to Hypersonic last night, which I just realised, well, I still have my bracelet on. VIP, baby. I don't know if you can see that. VIP. I've got to take that off. You can't rip these things off, you've got to cut them off. I was supposed to go when I took my tea back this morning to the kitchen, I was going to cut that off. I forgot. I went for a walk instead. So last night, went to Hypersonic, which is like a rave with a whole lot of DJs play in a big room, big warehouse. It's called the Dome at Sydney Olympic Park. I don't know what capacity would be, and I really don't know how many people would be there, but thousands of people are there. And yeah, it was big. It was a lot. And I went to see two Pacific DJs, Steve Aoki and Armin van Buuren. Both I've seen before, but both I had to see again. You know, when they come to Australia, you've got to see them. Funnily enough, Steve Aoki's actually playing tonight in Brisbane. So I could have stayed home and saw him much cheaper. But where's the fun in that, right? We all need adventures. So here I am in Sydney, staying with my sister, having an adventure around Sydney. But that is why I do lives, because I film those things and I can't fit them on my phone. So, I mean, I can, but not much. And I always get this message that says, stop. Like in the middle of filming, it just stops and says, your phone is too full. Do you know how that feels? When you're in the moment and you're like, crap. And you have to physically delete stuff and then delete it from your recycle bin and think, oh, did I save that? Oh, did I not save that? Oh shit, maybe I should put that back on the phone. And then you're like, you've lost the moment. So moral of the story is, that is why I do lots of lives. Now there's a risk in doing lots of lives because, well, sometimes it doesn't record. And what I mean by that is sometimes I go through like a sketchy area and the signal's not great. I'm in 5G right now while I'm swinging. Let's keep on walking though. And it goes to a reconnection. So that what that means for you guys, if you're watching this, suddenly I start buffing and then I get chat in the chat. People start going, you're buffing, and then silence, as in like it cuts out from your side. But from my side, it still says the same stuff. It's live and it's still counting. You know, I've been live for 5 minutes Well, the only thing that's different is that it might only say that I've got one person or 0 people watching. Not that that concerns me, because sometimes, like right now, I've got one person watching, because I don't have a huge subscriber base, right? And, some of my friends are busy, or they might be on other people's lives. It is what it is. I don't warn people about my lives. I do pop-up lives. I stole that name off our friend Susan. Hey, Rhonda, how you going? Rhonda, I'm just talking about how or why you guys might have unfollowed my notifications overnight, because I did about 10, maybe even more lives last night, and I was explaining why. Because your phone capacity can't fit that many videos, especially when you're filming. And I film in high capacity. And yes, I could have the cloud, but I don't like having the cloud. I'm going to be honest, I don't do the cloud. I take the videos off my phone and put them on a hard drive. And so the way to get around that is by doing lives. Now, last night I ran the risk last night I went to rave. So you know how I like dance music? Oh, look at this beautiful moment. Look at these flowers. We have to stop and smell the roses moment, right? Oh, they smell really nice, Rhonda. Are you a rose fan? Yeah, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. So another thing I love about when you're walking on holidays is the different architecture. That is a very typical architecture of this area. See the brick, the red brick? Well, it's painted, this one, but that red brick next door's got it. Try not to show people in my videos. That red brick is very typical of this area. It's actually Sydney Olympic Park, where I went last night to see the rave, the DJs, which I'll go on to that story back in a second. They actually used to make the red brick there. And you can go there and you can see where they used to make it. It's pretty cool. It's very cool. But I just like walking around and seeing all the different architecture. If I had my time over, I would definitely have been an architect. I love different buildings and just the way they're constructed, and yeah, it's just I find it really pretty. And that's why when I walk, I really like seeing houses. I just realised where I'm walking, I need to cross the road. I forgot. So I'm on holidays, Rhonda, if you hadn't picked up. Also, look, Rhonda said she saw a bit of my live. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of my DJs that I love to watch were playing last night, and they say don't film, just live in the moment, right? You do, but for me personally, I look back at my videos of the DJs I've gone to see, and I love watching the videos. Like, for example, the DJ I went and saw last night, the main event, Armin van Buuren, I saw 12 years ago. And 12 years ago was 2013, one of the worst years of my life. And New Year's Eve, I saw Armin van Buuren on the beach in Mexico. And I danced my ass off. I have videos of that night, only very little videos, because back 12 years ago, technology wasn't great and I didn't have any capacity on my phone. And I actually that night also ran out of capacity on my phone. Funny that. Didn't have the capacity to do lives back then. So here I am. And I look back at those videos and I go, wow, look at that girl. Look at that moment. There's fireworks on the beach. It's amazing. And last night, I was like, the last live from last night, so the previous video from this, if you go to the end, 5 minutes from the end, there's a beautiful song. Oh my God, what's the song? It's one of my favourite songs. I can't think of it right this minute. But that song is an old song from 12 years ago, where I was dancing my ass off on that beach. It was a moment. And I relived that moment again last night on the dance floor. But it's a new moment because I'm me now. Like, all the things of that year are over. It happened. It's done. So music for me brings me back to a place, and it reminds you where you are and where you've come. And you can relive that moment. So that's why I videotape them. And, you know, when you're on a dance floor and your phone starts going, you've got no memory and it stops recording, that's your worst moment. So that's why I started doing lives. That was the first time I've actually done that. I'm actually surprised I didn't get a copyright. So I guess let me show you where I am. This is kind of a bit of a, it's not a private section, but these houses are like, they're kind of, I don't know what you call them, they're houses, right? They're houses, but it's very exclusive little area. Very exclusive, very exclusive. We're walking down to the river, part of Sydney Harbour. Hopefully we can get through here. I think we can. Oh, they've got the little sprinklers on. So, yeah, last night was amazing. Did I say that again? Last night was amazing. And I was singing like it was literally dancing karaoke. That song, that particular song, oh my gosh, what is the song, Dora? What is the song? What it feels like. What it feels like. What it feels like. Okay, I'm not going to sing it. If you fast forward, I'm not going to sell this very right. If you fast forward my last live to the end, the last 5 minutes, you'll hear the song, What It Feels Like, by Armin van Buuren, featuring Dora with her water bottle going like this. What it feels like, yeah. Pretty much that's what you'll see. Actually, I think it's worth watching, even just for a laugh. But I have that moment now captured. Now, you do run the risk when you're doing lives that copyright. Strangely, I didn't get a copyright last night. I don't know why. I have a feeling I didn't get a copyright because there's a lot of background noise, right? Because I am not on stage. Definitely not on stage dancing. I'm not a go-go dancer. Where are we? So these are a little more apartments on the beach, on the waterfront. These are more exclusive houses because they've got the front. These ones are pretty flash, these ones. So we're walking down to the marina, and then we'll walk around the foreshore, around to Breakfast Point, where they've got a lot of other nice houses, a lot of nice architecture, I've got to say, nice gardens. Beautiful day. Someone's got a boathouse here. That's pretty cool. So these are like little inlets that come off Sydney Harbour. So Sydney Harbour is like, well, not drive, you've got to drive out that way. There's a lot of rivers, but this all feeds into Sydney Harbour. So effectively, this is not really Sydney Harbour, but it's part of Sydney Harbour. It feeds into it, if that makes any sense. So some people are coming along, so we're not going to film them. But wow, I always like looking at the boats. Good morning. So these are the front houses. Sunday morning here, so it's a quieter morning. People are probably sleeping in. Some people are out on boats. We did a live down here yesterday morning. We went down and found out how much you could hire a little boat for, and you actually don't need a license. So Dora could hire a boat by herself, with 7 other friends if I wanted to. These are pretty, I like these. Something cat's tail or something they're called. Maybe it's a different variety because normally they're different colours, but I just like that colour. It's very mauve or, yeah, just nice purple. Very pretty. What's that called? Kangaroo tail? Oh, kangaroo tail. I just dropped the kangaroo tail. So the architecture here is, not architecture, the landscaping is also really nice too. So obviously these guys are paying a lot for, obviously, landscaping. They don't look after these themselves. A landscaper looks after it. Private access. So Sydney is quite expensive to live, guys. Quite expensive to live. So back to last night, running the risk. Running the risk, A, getting copyright. Running the risk of when it buffs out, it cuts out. So I don't know that. And I'm still videotaping. So for example, last night, my favourite moment, there's a couple of favourite moments, guys, but the last 5 minutes of my last live was one of my favourite moments, where that song that took me back in time reminds me of how far I've come, listening to particular music and, you know, holistically me, how far I've come. And yeah, I'm singing my ass off and dancing my ass off. And yeah, it might not be for your cup of tea, I get that, and that's okay. It's my cup of tea, and I filmed it, and this is my way of not filling up my phone on the memory of my phone, but capturing a moment, and it's on YouTube, on their memory bank, right? Now, a couple of things can happen. It buffs out, and I didn't capture that moment. It didn't buff out. I captured the moment, thank God. Okay, I didn't get a copyright, so that was good. 2 for 2. Now, what I can do is I can now download that or screen record it, and then I can delete it. Or I can just unlist it and put it in the background of my videos. Or I can put it in a playlist and say, you know, if anyone wants to look at that stuff, or I get to look at that stuff. So I'm personally, I'm walking into a park, guys. Personally, I have no shame, really. Let's face it. I don't care. I'm going to leave them there, to be honest. But I will download them. Now, I am Wi-Fi at my sister's house, so I could download them then, because I'm also running risk of, I'm using a lot of data by doing lives. This is always an interesting sculpture. Hey, Craig, how you going, buddy? I rocked hard. Yes. Can I just tell you, Craig, this is what I was like, only literally, this is a perfect place for it actually. This is how I was about 15 minutes ago. Let me just get into position. That was my position, with an ice pack over my knees, having a cup of tea. Why was I doing that? Because I rocked hard last night. And it's not just because I went to a rave, right? Like most days, I am trying to do that. Elevate legs, elevate knees, legs, knees collected to my knees, and ice my knee. I do have a weird knee. It likes a little ice, an elevation, and then we're good to go. Like we are good to go again. So yeah, thanks for watching, Craig. Not your kind of music, is it? I'm not sure which part you saw last night, but another memorable part was, now I can't tell you which video it was in, was there's a DJ called Steve Aoki. It would have been one of the first couple of videos, lives I did. Steve Aoki is an American DJ, very, very popular. He's quite likable. He does a lot of social media stuff. He's very funny, adventurous. He does a lot of skydiving, all the things, right? Has a lot of toys. There's a lot of money, okay? Because, you know, in DJing you make a lot of money. But he shares that. He brings his friends along, and it's kind of nice to see. And it doesn't appear that he does drugs or anything like that. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but he doesn't appear that. He doesn't sell that idea. He just sells the idea that he's having fun with his friends. And he enjoys his music, right? I enjoy his music. But anyway, he's got this song. I think it's called Let's Get Caked. Let's Get Caked. I can't even tell you how the song goes. But the idea of it, no joke, is he has these big cakes and he chucks cakes into the dance floor. And you see all these people on the front of the dance floor with a big sign that says, "Cake me." If I was thought about it, I probably would have made a sign. But so I made sure he started at 6:30, which is really early for a DJ. I'm gonna be honest. Most DJs come on at midnight, past midnight. But last night the ravers is at Olympic Park, and I think they have a curfew because it finished at 11 o'clock. So it's like, have you ever heard of those day raves where you basically go day raving and it finishes at 6 o'clock through the day? It's for the old people, right, that, you know, want to go home. Got a table tennis section up here. Got a pool here. That's nice. Bit of Sunday morning swimming, guys. I didn't bring my tongs. I probably might go for a swim through the week, actually. Where my sister lives, she has a pool there, so I could go there or come down here. It's quite nice. So, back to my cake story. I know it's weird. Why would you want to go to a dance festival and get cake all over you? I'm talking cake, icing cake. Now it gets better, right? Let me just fast track. Dora may not have got caked on her face. That's what you want to happen, right? That is what you want, to get caked on your face. I got a bit of cake on my shoes. I was dancing in it, slipping and sliding, literally helped me dance better actually. And I got a few selfies with one of the guys who got caked, and I may or may not have, he had cake everywhere. Put my finger on the cake and licked it. It was quite nice. I do like cake. So anyway, you have to be there, and it's not everyone's thing. And that's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but that was way my cup of tea last night. So that's the first time I've seen, have I seen that before? I don't think I have. I've never been, I saw him maybe 8 years ago live, and he wasn't doing that. He's only kind of a new thing he's been doing in the last 5 years. And so I've not seen him for a while. So that was definitely a highlight from last night. I made sure I got there early to see that. As I said, I'm staying at my sister's house. I arrived at my sister's house late last night, no, the night before. So we really got to catch up yesterday. So that's why you didn't hear much of me yesterday, because I was having family time. I met up with my niece. I have an older niece. She is about 26. And then my sister caught up with her and her partner and her little doggy. I've got a dog called Bruce. He's a dachshund. He's pretty cool. Don't think he likes me very much. He always, as dachshunds do. So it was really nice to spend time with them. But we do like to have a cheeky wine or two together, my sister and I. Now, you guys know that I've been doing 75 hard and I've been looking after myself and my body. Now, guys, this is a ficus. This is a ficus fig. Why do I know this? Why do you care? Well, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care, you don't care. But this is a ficus fig tree. And why I know this is I knew it was a fig, but ficus is its term because Paul, D Australia, knows a lot about plants. My dad used to, well, he knew a lot about plants. And I was walking down here, I said, oh, I wonder what this is. He said, it's a ficus. And actually, this is when I was walking around Sydney Harbour. Now, my sister said to me yesterday, she knows a lot about trees too. Actually, Craig, you know about a lot about trees, don't you? Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Craig. That's a good song. I like that song. That is a very good song. So, I've forgotten the name of this. There's a Moreton Bay fig, which is from where I live, in Moreton Bay, because I live in Moreton Bay in Brisbane. But there's a particular fig here. It's named after an explorer here that came to Australia. Oh, something Alexander, I think. And that's what the fig is called. I can't remember the name. Paul, this is when I need Paul. Paul, what is the name of this particular fig? It's not the Moreton Bay fig, it's another fig. And there's also a strangler fig. That's also very common up in Brisbane. Anyway, let's go down to the marina because we have to walk down here. Now we did bring some money with us so that we can get a juice. Oh, that's right, I was talking about alcohol, that's right. So obviously I did 75 hard, and on 75 hard you can't drink any alcohol. And I've been 3 weeks out of 75 hard, and I've only just started drinking alcohol. I just don't need it. I had a beer with my friend Bess the other day. Maybe I'm a social drinker now, not a at-home drinker Monday to Friday. Like, that's what I wanted to break, that habit. I mean, I broke that habit a long time ago. 13 years ago, 12 years ago, I was really bad at that. Let me just show you the marina, guys. So they have a little cafe here. Get your little coffees, your croissant. They do have juices there. But you can walk down to the marina, the back here. And not everyone shares my, way of health, and that's okay. So my sister loves a wine. So I shared wine with her yesterday afternoon. These are the boats you can hire without a license. They're electric boats. Actually, it's closed today. Okay, it's not even open. Maybe it's just early. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, you can't get down to the marina because it's only for marina people with boats. But these boats here, you can hire. You can have 8 people on them. And dogs and cats. You bring your own alcohol and food. One of you have to be sober though. So yeah, picnic boats. So yeah, beautiful marina. Some nice expensive boats there. Let's pick one that we're going to, dream about. Not that I really would like a boat because, like, let's face it, you have to look after it and they're a bit stressful having boats. I think if you had a boat, you'd want a driver. Let's go for this one, eh? Impress. And you can be my driver. And I just want it every now and then. So it's possible to timeshare boats. Have you ever heard of that? Where you can do timeshare holidays. Well, you can actually timeshare boats because, let's face it, you're not using your boat every week. Most people that own boats eventually get rid of them because they just don't use them. And they're expensive. And they cost a lot of money to look after. Why I know that? Because I had a boyfriend that had one. In my previous life, 12 years ago, the boyfriend that I definitely broke up with had a boat. So this is really pretty down here. You can sit here at Sunset Bar too. I've sat here before and had some sunset drinks, but you can have a drink down there, your juice or your breakfast. When it comes to trees, I most know about trees is that they hang low. I say fig that tree. So Craig is my fellow Queensland person, Queenslander, fellow Queenslander, that's right, that's probably English. He's from Stanthorpe and he's a landscaper. So that's why he said, cut that thing down, the low branches down, because that's his job. So, any big plans today for your Sunday, Craig? Hopefully it's a day of rest for you. No rest for the wicked Fedora. She's going for a walk. You can't really, Sundays was going to be my day of rest. Last Sunday I was walking. This morning I'm walking. But I did do a meditation this morning, guys. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful affirmation. Putting it out to the universe what you want. It was really nice, actually, really nice. So I do meditation, motivation with Marie. It's a free 10-minute guided meditation. It's just to give back to myself, and it's really a beautiful thing that I've started doing again. I seem to go on and off with meditation. Now, it is warm here, guys. So someone reminded me when I was in this section yesterday, you should be looking for snakes. I mean, I do. I'm always scanning what I'm standing on, right? So let's just bear with me, guys, while I do a little bit of rock climbing. We like our skin where it is. There we go. That wasn't bad. Oh, this was nice. So we have some sand up the river. As I said, we're not too far away from like the main harbour. I mean, I think you'd call this harbour, or would they call it Parramatta River? I don't know. Parramatta is just a bit further up. So those buildings there is where I was last night. That is Sydney Olympic Park. So back in the year 2000, Sydney hosted the Olympics, and that was the year that I was living in Mexico that year. And yeah, Australia was very, very proud to hold the Olympics, and Sydney Olympic Park was a big industrial area, and they completely rezoned it and made it all this beautiful space to be the Olympics. And obviously after the Olympics, you know, what do they do with these spaces? Well, holds capacity for football. There's a stadium there for the football stadium, and then I think they do a lot of concerts in that stadium. I haven't been in that stadium personally, but they have this big warehouse called the Dome, and that's where they have a lot of raves. So I've been pretty much yearly. I'll come down pretty much since the start of COVID, actually. I started going to a rave down here. Transmission is a big festival that they have all around the world, and that was the first one I came to here. And it's convenient. It's quite close to my sister's. Beautiful, right? It's very beautiful. Just taking all that. Look at all the shells. It's beautiful. So yeah, the first one I went to, I've got such fond memories of, because I came to see a guy called Gareth Emery. He's a DJ that I hadn't seen before. He's an American DJ, and he does a lot of touring. But I got wind that he was coming to Australia to Transmission. So of course I had to go, didn't I? And I believe Armin played also that year. No, he didn't. It was Gareth Emery and another DJ, Paul van Dyk. Paul van Dyk I saw 25 years ago, actually playing in New York City at an old nightclub called Twirlo. If you're a hardcore dance person back in the day, a lot of people know that nightclub because it was kind of notorious for that's the place to be. Not that Dora thinks about those kind of things. Just happened to be that I was driving through with my guy friends, and it happened to be my 25th birthday. And we were staying in a timeshare apartment in Manhattan, the Manhattan Club. I'm not sure if it's still there. Well, it's a very exclusive timeshare. It's hard to get into. But because I was selling timeshare, we got to stay there. And it happened to be my birthday. And the guys that I was with were big diehard, into dance music just like me, 25 years ago. And he rang up and said, hey, can we get put on the door? That's what apparently you used to do. And apparently we got put on the door. And we got in for free. I don't know how the hell we did that. But anyway, he goes, oh, who's playing tonight? He goes, and they said, Paul van Dyk. I'm like, oh my God. Look, that's oysters. Obviously, you wouldn't eat those oysters. There's no oysters there anyway, but they've all been clocked off. You only want to eat oysters that are under the tide. If they get some sun, you're going to get really sick. So that's Cabarita. That's one of the ferry stops. That's a ferry stop I get off. So I came here the other day. Now, can I get through here? I think I can. Maybe I'm going to be crawling under. I am. Okay, let's go this way. So anyway, I saw Paul van Dyk, 25 years ago. And then, as I said, when I first kind of got back into raving around the pandemic time. So music's always been a thing for me over the years, but I was never a raver when I was back in the day. a lot of people when they're, 20s, love the music. Here's Dora in her 50s, loves the music and gets out there, shakes her booty. Not that I shake my booty, but, shakes it, rocks it, jumps up and down, like the best of them, with like little 20-somethings last night. And, it doesn't matter how old you are, what you look like, where you're from, how much money you have. When you're on a dance floor, no one gives a fuck. That's what I love about dancing on a dance floor, that no one gives a fuck. Honestly, dancing is just that mode that no one cares. I'm sure people are judging you, but like, I give a shit. So, yeah, you're just in the moment, right? And you'll see in my videos, there's a few moments there I'm just in the moment, absolutely loving it. And I get to, those are held on YouTube, which is really weird because, anyone can watch them. But I have the choice. I can download it, use that footage and put in my own, vlogs, which I probably will do. But they will take a lot of space. So I'll download them at my sister's in Wi-Fi sometime through the week. And I mean, personally, I'm not going to unlist them or make them private. I'm not like, I just don't care. But I do have that possibility. The only thing I'm hoping, guys, is, and music I know is James Blundell. He's a stand-up singer. James Blundell, yes, okay, righto. So a bus also comes to this stop. So if you get off the ferry, it waits for you and takes you to the train station. So Breakfast Point is a bit of a point, so it's a bit hard to get in and out of unless you have a car, right? I mean, you can walk out of it, but a lot of people don't like walking. So this is where we're going to walk over here, guys, and then we're going to walk over and get a juice. So that's what they call Breakfast Point here. Point. And it's nice to walk over there, so if you'd like to join me while I ramble about dance music and God knows what other stories I do ramble about. So the quality, I was checking last night when I was doing the lives, because, the worst case scenario is that you're doing a live and then it's actually not recording. You wasted your time when you could have videotaped it and fill up your phone. So I did a bit of combination of both. I wanted to up the ante because if the lives weren't recording or I got a copyright, then I wanted a backup, but only a small backup because, I couldn't record that much. As I said, I don't have much space on my phone. So when I was watching it back last night, because there's a lot of people around that also plays with the data, as in like the plays with your ability to get much coverage on your phone. So sometimes I couldn't even get on the internet because there's so many people. And then sometimes I could, which was really surprising. So I was looking at the footage, not the whole thing, because I'm at the rave. But when I was having some dinner last night, I scoffed down a pitta, and it was very nice, chicken pitta. While I was doing that, I was looking at a bit of the videos. Hey Kathleen, how you going? And the footage was a little bit jumpy, and I think it's because, hello plane, there's Virgin, oh no, it's Emirates. Is it Emirates? I can't even read that, guys. So guys, that's the direction I was flying when I came into Sydney the other day, where I was recording. So I did a 10-minute video, guys. I don't know if you've seen it, but I did a 10-minute video. No, I didn't. 4-minute video. I did a 4-minute video. So this lady's running to catch the ferry. So you see many people running to catch the ferry here. And I think that's because, the phone is going like this because, I'm dancing up and down. I mean, if I was a professional filmer, I would stand there and just film, right? But I'm not a professional filmer. And I don't want to be a professional filmer. I want to be in the moment, listening to the music. So sometimes I was dancing without filming. Sometimes I was filming and the music like this, it's like this. So that's probably why it's choppy. But I think it's also because it's not downloading fully when you're watching it. It's still downloading in the back end. So when I get back to my sisters and watch with Wi-Fi, a lot of them have downloaded now. I made sure I didn't do long videos too. Sometimes I just did like a song. Because like I said, this is like my memory bank So this is my way of storing videos on lives. So like I said, apologise if you got a million alerts last night saying, Dora's live, Dora's live, Dora's live, Dora's live again. What the hell, Dora's live again? What can she be wanting to tell you? Not much. Oh, we have a seaplane. Seaplane. Yes, Kathleen, you said that you watched the one about the VIP. Funnily enough, Kathleen, look, I still have it on, VIP, hypersonic. I forgot to take it off. I need to cut it. You can't actually pull them off. They're really tight. They're on quite. You got to cut them off. I forgot this morning. So let me tell you why it wasn't worth paying for the VIP. Let me tell you why I paid for the VIP. Because let's face it, Dora is not VIP. Dora is pretty much how you get it, right? She don't dress up for many people. Though she did make herself look presentable to meet Bess the other day, but I didn't wear a dress. I didn't get, all glammed. I mean, I would have wore a dress, but I was travelling that day. So, oh, look at this. This is a grevillea. This is beautiful. And you've got a Mickey bird getting some nectar out of it. Let me zoom in, guys. Hold on, where am I looking? There you go. There's a Mickey bird. It's getting nectar out of the grevillea. Actually, you have a lane, you have the thing that I had my thumbnail on, they give you a big thing, and I just put it in my bag because I didn't wear it because I looked like an idiot wearing this big VIP thing. Because I'm not VIP, guys, it's a real crock of shit, to be honest. But the reason why I paid for it was that last time I came, last year, I did the VIP and you were upstairs at the back, which is a different experience. Like, I like to be front and middle at the dance floor. The vibe is on the dance floor. But at the back, your VIP, you have a different view, and it actually wasn't bad. I really enjoyed it because you got to see the lasers coming right at you. And one of my favourite DJs, Gareth Emery, was playing. So he's very much into lasers, and I love his music. And so it was a different experience. So it was nice to be up the top and then down the bottom. So I did a combination of both. But this time they had moved the VIP to the right hand side of the stage. The stage is right in front of you, right? I was on the right, but not at the front, which just makes sense, right? You don't get the front. It was on a platform, but not high, a platform. And then the back of the platform, you had barbecue seats that you could sit at, which is fine, get a bit of air around, because there's a lot of people, right? Some people don't like to be dancing next to people and sweaty. I like that. I'm weird, I know. But the other thing is the toilet situation, guys. There was no toilet paper in the ladies' toilet. Now, when you pay $50 extra for a VIP ticket, you would expect that they have toilet paper for the ladies. Just saying, no lady wants to shake it on a toilet seat. That's gross. Okay, here comes the ferry. So that ferry is coming from Parramatta or Sydney Olympic Park, and it's going to stop at this ferry stop. And then the people getting off that can get the bus. It's all very coordinated. And those people that ferry just stopped and is heading up north. So yeah, the ferry system here is really, really good. So yeah, what I'm talking about this... See you, Craig. So what Dora did, she improvises, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I spent $50 extra for a VIP set ticket. It doesn't get me a toilet that's friggin' a mile long. Okay, because let me put you in the place. There's portaloos outside. Everyone knows how disgusting portaloos are. And by the end of the night, it's even worse. Like, guys pee on the seats. They pee on the floor. It's foul. I mean, I know you got shoes on, but still, it's foul. But the one good thing about portaloos is they have cleaners that are always around there. They might not clean the toilets, but they put toilet paper in it. So that's the side. But that's open to anyone. You don't have to pay for a $50 VIP ticket for that. But you do have to line up. So what Dora did was she went and lined up at the portaloos, as you do. But what I did was I went to the end portaloos because people aren't lining up there. People are quite, they just want to do a quick pee and get out. So they all stay at the front where the lines are long. So I go down the back where the lines are shorter. And yes, I went to do a pee, as you do. And yes, I think I did a Dancing with Dora in the Portaloo. Well, I wasn't live, guys. But anyway, I don't know, probably. I remember dancing in a toilet last night somewhere. Anyway, and I took some toilet paper and I put it in my handbag for when I went back to the VIP section. Had a little dance on the platform thing. Didn't love it. Couldn't get into it because I just didn't feel like I was in amongst it. Though I went to the toilet for the scientists. I wanted to use the VIP toilet because that's what I paid for, right? Apparently. Let me show you where I am. So the apartments at Breakfast Point. This is a very exclusive area, this one here. So I just came from over there. We walked around the foreshore and there's a country club up there with a pool. It's very exclusive. Dora ain't getting to that. I could try, but I probably don't have the Rolex watch to go with it. So yeah, this is a very exclusive little area. So like I said, I'm not VIP. So I went last night, went to the VIP toilet. Of course you have to line up. The toilet's, it's not as long as the other places because there's less people in VIP. But Dora had toilet paper in her handbag. So that was the end of my VIP. That was it. It was not worth it at all. Shit, really. I'm really disappointed because if it was up above, that was why I paid for it. It was a better viewpoint. It was a different viewpoint. I still wanted to be on the dance floor. Then I could go upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, right? This one wasn't even worth it. And it wasn't even worth going to the toilet. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. They must be able to change because I went looking for where the VIP was and I thought it was at the back and it wasn't even there. The stairs are gone, so it's a makeshift VIP section. They must be able to move it around to where they want it. So it's interesting. So we're going to walk over and get a juice. I'm going to get some kind of immunity juice because, I was around a lot of people last night. A lot of sweat and, stuff going everywhere. Like I said, I didn't lick cake off someone's body, but I went like that off his sweaty body and put it in my mouth. So, lots of germs going around. So, yeah, you want to make sure your immunity when you go to these kind of things is pretty high. My sister has actually got a bit of a flu happening, so I'm just been, wanting to make sure that my immunity is good. My immunity at home is pretty good. I eat a lot of turmeric, ginger, chili, all of that kind of vitamin C. That's why, I take the vitamins, I do my lemon water, all those kind of things, guys. That's why I do those rituals, to get my immunity up. It works for me. It might be placebo. You might think it's crap. That's fine. But yeah, it works for me. So I know when I travel, my immunity gets kicked because, I'm not doing my normal routines, right? I haven't had my lemon drink. I didn't bring my green powder. Sometimes when I travel, I do take my green powder with me. Like, for example, when I went to Ibiza last year in Taiwan, I took it with me for those 3 weeks I was away. But this year, when I went to Samoa, did I do it in Samoa? I can't remember. Yes, I did do it in Samoa. Yeah, in Samoa I did take my green juice too. But when I went to Europe, I didn't do it. Again, it's time and effort. Looking after yourself is work. On top of when you're traveling, it's hard. But that's probably when you probably should up the ante and look after yourself. Because you're around weird people, especially when you're on planes. People are coughing, splattering. It's foul. But we still travel, right? Yeah, so anyway, that's why your immunity gets down. So anyway, that's why I'm making sure I'm having some vitamin C this morning. My sister bought some oranges, so I'm going to go home and have some oranges too. That would probably be better than just buying a juice. But I'm on holidays. I'm gonna live a little. I'm gonna buy a juice. Last night I didn't buy any drinks, guys. You'd be very proud of Dora. She did not have any alcohol drinks, and I didn't even buy a bottle of water. Let me tell you about the bottle of water. So, raves are notorious for people on drugs, right? That's what it goes, sadly goes hand in hand. Oh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. So, I don't partake. I don't judge people that partake. But don't give me anything. So, a lot of young people, unfortunately, or old people, it doesn't matter how old you are, people do partake. They have lots of signs everywhere saying, look after yourself, don't take drugs off weird people, because they know people take drugs, so they just accept it. Another grevillea. It's a beautiful colour. So they know people take drugs, so what they do is they have ambulances there, they have medics, they have a whole triage section going. I did film it. I didn't go in it, obviously, but I filmed past it last night, not on my live, but on one of my videos. One day I might get that out. But I think it's a really good idea because, you know, they're accepting the fact that people are still going to do drugs and people will overdose. So last year, sadly, a guy died. You know, when you do take these drugs, you run the risk of taking some crap that you shouldn't be taking, right? So it's very, very sad. Kathleen's got those trees are cute. That funny, we were writing about trees at the same time, but the sculptured ones caught my eye. The sculptured ones. Oh, the ones that are, yeah, Popperini, they call them? Is it Popperini? I think they call them Popperini. Morning, how you going?
Hello.
Talking about Popperini, that's a Popperini dog. The reason why I know that is because my sister had one of them. They go, yep, Popperini, yeah, I don't know. They're Italian or something. All right, let's have some water. So serious subject, drugs. Obviously Dora doesn't partake, but it's always sad to see or hear about someone, you know, overdosing on drugs. You know, sometimes people think that there's peer pressure. They go to these raves that all their friends are doing it, so we should do it. And sometimes, you know, wherever they source the drugs from are not clean or whatever.
Well, I actually have discussed.
And yeah, you can overdose. You take too much, your body can't take it, you don't hydrate. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, last year there was a bit of an article about it on the news actually that they said, oh, there's hypersonic, someone died at a rave. And it puts a bad name to raves and DJs because they, you know, people think, oh yeah, she's going to a rave, she must do drugs. I do definitely not do drugs. I've never done drugs. It's one of the things I do not partake in. No judgment if you guys do it. I mean, I know there's different versions of drugs. Me personally, I think medicine is a drug, and I try to not partake in that too. It's a gum tree. Sorry, eucalyptus. That is what koalas eat, guys. But that particular eucalyptus is not a tree that a koala would eat. There's many types of eucalyptus trees. I think there's like 200 forms. There's a lot of them. But that's where you get eucalyptus oil from. You need a lot of oil, like a lot of leaves to... I'd actually like to make that one day. Oh, it smells beautiful though. Okay, this is a nice little spot. No fishing, not fishing. You can walk up there or keep on walking around here. So obviously this is getting very weathered. So do not stand on it, you might fall in. Hey Maddie, how you going? Are you feeling better today, Maddie? I know you've been struggling after your surgery. So, yeah, they have lots of signs about, you know, taking drugs, looking after yourself, making sure you have your friends look after you. Oh, look at that. That's a little tugboat. That is cool. And they have a whole triage section, like a little makeshift hospital. And you see lots of people going in there because people hurt themselves, they fall over or dehydrated, too much alcohol. I saw lots of people vomiting. Oh, hello, Birdie. Maddie, you always come when there's an animal. Look at that. What do you think, Maddie? Do you like that? You're in pain. I'm sorry, love. You will get better. I know that, surgery, obviously you need to get that surgery. Just look after yourself. The pain will subside, that's it. I really like walking through here. It feels like I'm in my own little jungle, right? Like, crikey, where is the koala? Oh, this is pretty cool. Look at this. This guy's got one of those kayaks that you go fishing in. Oh, sounds like he's got his kid with him too. That's a cute little tugboat. Very cute. All right, we're gonna keep on walking, guys. It's got two people in the kayak. What a beautiful thing to do on a Sunday morning. Oh, they've got a fish there too. Go them. Oh, it's a girl. So it's a dad and a daughter going fishing together. That's lovely. Lovely. So Maddie's saying that she's upset because she can't go outside and play because of your foot. Yeah, but love, that's why you just got to recover. Sometimes short-term pain, as in like you can't go outside, is for long-term pleasure. Because if you stay home, stay inside, recover properly, you'll get better faster, and then you'll be better. But I get it. In the moment, you've just got like cabin fever. You just want to get out. I get it, but you shouldn't. So this is another grevillea. See, it's like a two-tone colour, or even tricolour. It's beautiful. I don't know the name of this grevillea. My mum will be watching this later on. Mum, what is this one called? Because she'll tell me later on. She goes, that grevillea that you're looking at, that's called that. It's very pretty, Mum. I can't smell anything. But there's lots of different. It's another grevillea, but just an orange one. Morning. Different one again. So there's lots of different varieties. All right, keep walking, Dora. We would love a juice, Dora. Okay, which way do we go? Which way? I believe we go at the back here and keep going. Oh, I just ask. Excuse me, which is the closest way to go to like the IGA section?
Oh.
You go around that way?
Way. Yeah. Either go that way and then just go up the street, or if you go here and follow the road, it's going to get you to the same spot.
Okay, this is a nicer walk. Thank you. Okay, good. I thought it was this way. I just wanted to double check. Notoriously, I'll end up going for a long walk. So this house here, guys, it used to be like the common area where they used to all come together for like parties and stuff, like the people that own like a community centre, so to speak. You know, this is, as I said, it's a very affluent area. They pay a lot of taxes. That's their common area. Well, they sold the common area off, and someone lives in that place, apparently. It's a beautiful dress. Look at that dress. That is a beautiful dress. That's a lovely dress.
Oh, thank you.
Where did you get that from?
Birkenhead.
Sorry?
Birkenhead is a shopping center. Drumoin.
Oh, Drumoin. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Birkenader. Birkenader? As in a burqa? Anyway, that building there, my sister told me, this is the gossip, right? That a family bought that, and it's very expensive, obviously, right? But they all live on mattresses. Like a whole big family live there, but they don't have much furniture. They sleep on the beds on the floor. No judgment, hey, do what you want, right? Some countries, they sleep on floors anyway. Like, for example, in Indonesia, my family, my relatives, they all sleep on mattresses on the floor. There's no such thing, they don't use beds. They just don't see the need, like. And money's not easy to get, right? So, buying the bed frame, why buy that when you can just buy a mattress and sleep on the floor? And in my family's culture in Indonesia, the family sleep together. Like there'll be, maybe a couple of mattresses on the ground, but like, the mum and all the children are all together. So there's none of this separate bedroom stuff that, we're used to, right? So yeah, it's a luxury to have a bedroom or a bed. Oh yeah, Maddie, you prefer a bed, but you've got to remember that you're very, very lucky to have a bed in a bedroom. Some people in some cultures don't have any money. They don't even, they don't have that luxury of having their own private bedroom. So that's why I always think very, when I wake up in the morning, I think, wow, isn't it so, amazing that, first I woke up, but it's amazing that, we wake up in these, I have a nice comfy bed with my doona. I feel all nice and warm and fuzzy in my, my bed. And so, some people don't have that. And my family, some of my aunties and cousins, they don't have that luxury. So I think that's why travel for me has been very enlightening, to make me realise that my reality is not some people's, dream. And, if I look at my life, do I think it's a dream? I think personally, I look at my life that I'm living a dream. I might not have everything. I don't want everything. But, I individually have enough. I don't need anything else. I don't need to want anything else. But, it makes you feel grateful for what you have. Hello, helicopter. Hello, Serena, how are you going? Welcome, this is Breakfast Point in Sydney, in Australia. Where are you from? See ya, Kathleen. You have a wonderful life. Yeah, but Kathleen, you got to look at your own life and think it's very wonderful too. You could also, think about it, right? You're married to a Mexican guy. You could have actually ended up living in Mexico. My reality I could have ended up being pregnant to my Mexican boyfriend at the time and living in Mexico. And your life in Mexico would be way different to what your life would be here. You live in Canada, and my life in Australia. I'm very, very grateful that I live where I live. All right, here we are. We're in the right spot. Perfect. The juice bar, let's hope it's open. You were going to live in Mexico? I mean, look, I have many grand plans to go back to live in Mexico, but not full time. Okay, there's a bar. That's not the juice bar though. That's a new one that's just opened up. But this area here is very industrial at the back here, but bit by bit, they are knocking down everything. Like they're going to knock that down and build in apartments. So yeah, everything old is literally getting knocked down. There's some really nice old architecture in here, but it's all getting knocked down. So guys, I'm just going to flick out for a second. I think I got a message from my sister. She might have been saying, hey, are you coming home soon for breakfast? So let me just see. So I should be back when I flick out to another app it just goes, stops for a second, I think. I don't really know. Someone can tell me. If someone's there watching, let me know what happens. I'm gonna flick out. I'm back. Am I here? Am I really here? So I didn't get a message from my sister. It was a message from Diego. So guys, have you ever heard of Hillsong? Damn it, I should have actually thought about this. I would have gone to Hillsong. Actually, let's go have a look. Okay, hold on. Let me just run across this road. So Hillsong is a brand of church. Isn't it interesting? We have brands of churches. I have never gone to Hillsong before. I'm very curious about Hillsong. I think we should go in, guys. Fuck it. Do you think I could get him? Oh, Jesus doesn't care about how I'm dressed, right? Probably shouldn't do a live. I don't normally go to church, guys. I'm just very curious about Hillsong. Hillsong do... What I know about Hillsong, they have quite uplifting music, which I really enjoy uplifting music like. It's like dance music, right? But it's very positive. Let me have a look. What's going on here? So Jesus, hope for humanity. Let me have a look. Hi. I'll just ask a question. Hi, how you going? Just wondering, what time's your service? Or was it just
10 a.m.
Oh, what time is it now?
It's about 1:45.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, thanks.
Are you local?
Just on holidays. Yeah, I might come back and have a look. Thanks. So they always have greeters, guys. That's part of Hillsong, or part of any church, right? They have greeters at the front door to, make you welcome. So I might actually go back, because why not? Get a bit of culture, right? Hey, Susan. Well, Susan, I've never been to Hillsong. I'm curious, very curious. But I'm going to quickly go get a juice and scoff that down. How are you this morning? Any carb action? So you guys see how my adventures just unravel, right? I just go with the flow and see what happens. Like, do I care about how I look? Like the lady that was a greeter, very nicely dressed, right? And of course, she's already asking, do you live nearby? Because Hillsong, this is a bit bad of me, Dora, is, they do like to get donations. The donations go to the organisation, and the Hillsong people, the big people up the top, the American people that run it or started it, have been notoriously getting in trouble for a lot of things. I don't really listen to it. I mean, I don't really care, to be honest. I don't go to Hillsong. I'm not going to partake anyway. I'm not going to give them any money. But I'm curious. I'd go in there for like 5 minutes to check it out, just as an experience, right? Because this year's been an experience for me, going to quite a few churches. So I'm open-minded. I don't think you're going to see Dora converting to Hillsong anytime soon, but stranger things could happen. No, trust me, it's not going to happen. This is the juice bar that I want to go to. They used to have juices. Damn it, they don't have juices anymore? Or do they? I don't know, have a look. Oh, yep, they do.
Look, I was in it for a while, and I did.
Hi, how you going? Can I grab the immunity juice? Yep, how much are they? $8. Oh, perfect. Can I get a bit of chili put in that? Yeah. Just a bit of hot chili, or yes, or cayenne pepper. Just a little bit, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm getting celery, carrot, apple, lemon, beetroot, ginger, and some cayenne.
They do use charity. I mean, they won't check out 10 grand. It's just one big.
The solar's not working. Oh no, it hasn't got working. And the Christmas tree is up. Oh, okay, the light, oh, hold on, the Christmas tree is up next to the fireplace, so I can't use that either. Oh, you can't use the fireplace because the trees, right, yeah. Well, you know when they can get on fire. I can light the stove in a moment. Oh, yeah, I was just saying, Susan, obviously last night I went to a rave and obviously lots of people around. And when you're on holidays, you run yourself low, right? I'm not doing all the, the normal things I do. I'm doing lots of walking, probably not looking after myself. So I need to get some immunity drink in me. That's why I'm here, to get an immunity drink. It took about 8 hours to get the tree up. Oh, I bet you it did. I bet you it did. Give me a second. So Susan, can you do me a favour? I'm going to flick out to send my sister a message to let her know that I'm going to Hillsong. She'll laugh her ass off at it, just so that she knows where I am. And I just want to know what happens when I flick out of this live to another app and then come back to the live. What happens? I'm back. So what happens? Am I here? Am I here? Okay, so it buffs, does it? Beetroot's so good for you. So what did I say? Celery, carrot. Celery is really good for inflammation. Carrot, good for inflammation. Apple, lemon detoxing, immunity. Beetroot, ginger, and I asked for some cayenne pepper. Muy bueno. This is so good. So, I sent a message to my sister saying that I just walked past Hillsong and I'm just going to go have a look. So I'm sure she's going to be like, what the fuck? I said, I'm not converting, and just left it at that. So I'll get a message in a minute going, you idiot. But, my sister doesn't share my sense of adventure and open-mindedness. I'm curious about all religions. I love all religions. I love going to churches, especially if I'm in Asia. I'd love to, I go to services like, Buddhist, rituals and stuff like that. And I'm very open-minded. I just think that's the way to be. So if you're going to be open-minded, it's good to partake and see what is Hillsong about. There's a lot of negativity about Hillsong. All the rich people do Hillsong. All the things. There's really a lot of negative about Hillsong. So I am curious about it. Obviously, I'm not going to find out the ins and outs by just going to a quick service. But I've always been curious about going. So here, I'm at the right place at the right time, right? So take advantage of that time. And yeah, I'll tell you about it. I'm not going to do a live in there. That's not appropriate, guys. And what will happen, I'm sure, is when I go through the door, guarantee it, someone is going to hook onto me and go, oh, hello, is it your first time? And, be all nice and trying to convert. But, they're not going to go, oh, you should convert, blah, blah, blah. They'll also the fact that I'm dressed like a walker. But anyway, I care. Yes, Hillsong has a reputation. Obviously, when I go to a service, I'm not going to find anything bad. I mean, But my sister just ticked the thing that she saw my message, so that's good. But what time is it? 7:50, 9:53. So I might go back in a second. Probably not appropriate to walk in with a Hillsong with my juice. Does it matter? My sister. I told you, my sister's got here. Be strong. So my sister would be. She's not an atheist, but I don't think she believes. But she doesn't go to church. But yeah, she'd be laughing very much about me going to Hillsong. So she'll be very curious about my experience. And she'll probably be like, well, I'm glad you went, so I don't have to go. So anyway, guys, I might finish this live off. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my juice. And I will probably pick up on when I come out of the live. Sorry, pick up out of Hillsong and tell you all about it, okay, on my way back to where I'm staying. So have an awesome day, Susan. Hopefully something comes about today that fixes the solar system. Maddie, if you're there, be strong, stay inside and recover. I don't know who else is there. Rhonda, thanks for watching in the back end. And I'll catch you later on, guys. Bye.